Hi, I'm Jess.
And I'm Kassidy.
And we're two 21-year-olds from Canada.
And it's our turn to tell you our side of the story.
We're going to give you some tips and tricks on all things to do with concerts and tours.
And show you what it's really like to be a fangirl.
Stay tuned and we'll show you the ins and the outs of this lifestyle.
And tell you some interesting stories along the way.
Because it's finally
our turn. Hello guys, welcome back to Our Turn the Podcast, episode 3.
Exciting. We're on our third episode already, which is insane that it's been like 3 weeks now that we've been doing this. So
yeah,
it's exciting. I hope you guys have been enjoying it so far because we've had some fun filming it. So
yeah, it's nice getting to talk about this kind of stuff again.
Exactly. So. Especially I feel like today's an exciting episode because we're talking about something that we haven't really got to experience much recently because, the world.
Yeah, we haven't been able to actually do it, so.
I mean, I did do it a couple weeks ago, though. But it's not...
so did I!
Yeah, for the same show. We're seeing Justin Bieber in Seattle, and so we got to buy tickets for that show recently. But besides that, it's been a long time since we've had to deal with...
We bought movie tickets yesterday.
Oh, yeah, we went to a movie. So that was fun. But, yeah, we've obviously been our fair share of concert ticket fiascos and purchases. And
we've bought lots. Have lots of problems buying them.
We've definitely learned
our tricks on how to fix our problems.
Exactly. So we thought we would share those with you. Some of the actual valuable tips we've learned and not like the random ones like when you Google it, it pops up with have your credit card with you, which I mean is useful, but also that's kind of common sense. If you need to, buy something, you kind of need,
It's something to pay with.
Exactly.
It's kind of important. You can't buy something without money.
Exactly. So we're going to tell you the honest tips and the actual things that work, and it will help you get not necessarily the best seats, but the best seats. Well, I don't know what I'm saying.
In your price value.
Exactly. Best seats in your price range, plus you'll actually be able to get seats post it selling out. So.
Because then you might not always be able to get the best seats because
it sells
some
out
shows are
sometimes.
expensive. Some shows cost a pretty penny.
Yeah, but I mean...
It's worth it.
I think it's worth it too.
Yeah.
So, alright.
It's a memory.
Yes, and I'd rather have memories over valuable, tangible items.
Yeah,
so.
I've said that to coworkers on multiple occasions when they don't understand why I spend money on tickets. I'm like, I remember the memory for the rest of my life. Whereas if I buy those shoes,
great.
Yeah, they're not going to last that long anyhow.
Exactly. I'd rather have
something
memory.
Exactly.
Alright, so let's get into the tips. The first one is make sure you are on the site early.
If the tickets go on sale at 10 a.m., do not just go at 9:59.
Be there, I'd probably say around...
usually half an hour before.
Yeah.
If not, at least 15 minutes.
Yeah, depending on the show and depending on if you think it's going to sell out super fast or not. If it is a show that's going to be a little bit of a smaller artist, then yeah, I'd say probably 15 minutes. Yeah. But any larger artist, be there at least half an hour early.
Sometimes even an hour, because you can sometimes get in the queue. They start the queue early.
Yeah.
And then you're in the queue before they go on sale.
Exactly. If you are doing it on a computer and you have your own laptop or something, what I tend to do a lot of times is the night before they go on sale, I load the browser onto my computer. So all I have to do when I wake up in the morning is refresh the page and I'm already there. So make sure you're on it early because you don't want to be there last minute, and sometimes the site can crash. Make sure you're on that browser before the time is. You don't want to be the one that's oh no, I can't get on.
Because especially if it's a big show, sites crash
all the time.
Especially when it's a big show because there's so many people going in to buy tickets for that show.
So yeah, make sure you are on the browser early. And speaking of browsers, make sure you have multiple browsers open. So Ticketmaster has changed it recently. And
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's kind of frustrating.
You can only have one account per,
you can only have that account open at one time?
Exactly. So what I do is, I have my account open on, say, my phone, and then I log into my mom's Ticketmaster account on my laptop. And chances are you're not going to the concert by yourself, so whoever you're going with, or a parent, or somebody, log into their account. The tickets will, however, be on their account, so make sure it's someone that you trust.
Ticketmaster also has the option to transfer tickets, so once you buy them, you can transfer them to a different account. I'll buy tickets on my mom sometimes, because that's the one that loads the better tickets, and then I just transfer them to myself. It's super easy.
Make sure it's someone that you trust, though, because otherwise... be a little bit sketchy. But with that being said, if you are doing it on a laptop or some sort of desktop computer, make sure you have it say Safari and then Google Chrome. Don't have the same browser. Don't have two tabs open. If you have two tabs, then one of them will cancel the other one, and that is not good. So make sure you have different browsers. Have a Safari, have Google Chrome, have a Internet Explorer, have
Firefox.
The app on your phone, whatever. Make sure they are different accounts.
There's so many different ways to, like, so many different browsers to open up.
I would advise having 2. That way, if you do want to do, like, what I do to try and get the best tickets is to hold tickets in my cart while I search for better seats on the other one. And if I find better seats, hold into those ones, and I bounce back and forth until I find the seats that I want to buy.
Yeah.
So
but you do also have to be fast because tickets have a time limit on them.
Yeah.
That way people can't keep tickets in their cart forever.
Exactly.
And they get released to their fans.
Yeah. So make sure you kind of are
but you
smart
also,
about it.
and you want to hit, like, place order. You don't want to just have the tickets selected because just having them selected, somebody else can still get them.
Yeah, you want to make sure
you want to go through to place order to be at the screen where you would fill in your information and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. I have them, like, secured and, like, have the little ticker going down because otherwise those tickets can go just so fast. So.
It'll pop up with a thing, strictly on Ticketmaster, but it'll pop up with a thing saying, another fan has got these tickets. And I'm like, I just clicked on them.
These were my tickets, and now they're gone.
I wanted those. Those were row 2. I wanted those ones.
Yeah.
I'll never not be salty over that.
Oh, yeah, it's frustrating, but it happens. So just make sure you're fast about it. Make sure you're smart about it. And the other thing about being fast is make sure you have your credit card saved into your account. So you're logged in for sure, and make sure the credit card is saved into your Ticketmaster account or whatever, site they're using.
Yeah.
Some of them, I guess, don't have accounts.
But Ticketmaster is the main ticket buying site.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously some, like, smaller artists a lot of times don't use Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
But Ticketmaster have your credit card saved in there. It will save you, like,
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Exactly. So have the credit card saved. Also have the card with you because sometimes they do ask for, like, security codes and stuff.
Exactly.
Unless you have every number on that card memorized.
Which chances are probably not.
Probably you don't. I mean, like...
I use mine online a lot, and I still couldn't tell you
I've memorized number on the back, but, like, I don't know the expiration date and stuff.
I know the expiration date on mine, but I do not actually. I know everything but the whole number.
Yeah,
but
I
still, spend a lot of money online.
Make sure you have the card with you. Make sure it's saved into your account.
Yeah.
It'll save a ton of time, and it'll just make the process so much easier.
Especially because when you're stressed out buying tickets and the ticker is just, like, counting down on you in the corner, and you're trying to type the number in, and you're like, gotta make sure I get it right, otherwise it's gonna cancel. And
yes,
double check your card number.
Yeah,
too.
I find it helps if you read it out loud.
Yeah.
If you're obviously somewhere in public, don't be like 5, 2, 7. Like, don't do that. But like, if you're somewhere where you're in a secured place, you're private, like, you don't have to worry about people getting your credit card information. Read it out loud. It definitely helps. Or get someone to read it back to you, and you can, like.
I always get my mom to read it back to me, or I read it to my mom, and she's got the card and is checking the card. So.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt just to be on the safe side.
Another tip is make sure you're trying for pre-sale. Also, like, ways of pre-sale, there's so many different kinds of pre-sale. There's, like, Facebook pre-sale, there's Ticketmaster pre-sale, there's the venue, artist fan clubs have pre-sale, all that kind of stuff.
You look ahead of time, see when the pre-sales go on sale, see what time they go on sale, see the different pre-sales they are. Because a lot of times the pre-sales will actually have different seats in the venue. So whatever, American Express will have these set of seats, and the venue will have these seats, and the artist will have these seats from the fan club, and there's all different stuff. So get as many codes as you possibly can.
And if you don't want tickets that comes up, don't, because sometimes the best seats can be in the normal sale. Like, they only have so many seats per pre-sale, so.
Exactly, yeah. So
I didn't think that when I was little. I thought it was just, like, all of the seats, and just, like, pre-sale just went for it, and then whatever was left, GA's got. But
yeah, that's what I thought too. But no, it's definitely only a small, like, section of the seats, and their seats do go on sale for the general public when they do go on sale for, like, the regular time.
But it's just nice to have the opportunity to access tickets earlier.
Exactly, and that way you have that kind of, okay, I'm going to try it here, see how it goes, test the site out, test whatever it is out. If you don't like the seats, you can always go back and buy them for the general sale or a different pre-sale later on.
But if you think it's going to be a show that sells out and you get your tickets, I would personally, just get them.
I most of the time buy my seats with pre-sale. Very, very rarely I will wait for the general sale just because it
scares me.
Me too, and I want to make sure I have those seats secured, but it is nice to be able to have that second chance almost to, if you didn't get seats or all.
Because sometimes pre-sale goes so fast and you can't get it.
They only have a limited amount. So
and it's nice having so many different pre-sale options that you can try with, because it gives you so many options to get tickets.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people have issues getting the codes, so honestly, my best way of getting the pre-sale codes is to sign up for the mailing list.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the best way that they send them out, because if you sign up for the artist mailing list, that tends to be the die-hard fans, the people that get those spam emails pretty much. So they
that most of the time you're like, I don't want to get these emails anymore.
Exactly.
They're just like always coming in.
Hold on to them, and I would advise trying to sign up for the the fan mailing list thing as soon as possible. Like, if the tour gets announced, sign up right then and there, even if they haven't announced like a pre-sale or anything yet, just because a lot of times you have to be signed up like 2 or 3 days before they announce that they're doing that pre-sale, because otherwise people sign up just simply for that.
The Ticketmaster one is really good. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, this tour is coming out, but they won't say the dates, and you'd have to sign up, like, even if they might not even come into your city.
Exactly, yeah, and it like asks you and then it texts you a pre-sale code, and it is definitely kind of weird the way it works. Not everybody gets one.
Facebook is the easiest.
Yeah,
one,
Facebook will just post a standard code.
It's in the group, and everybody can use that one. Where a lot of times
it's personalized.
It's a personalized one, and everybody gets one that can be used once, which makes sense.
And make sure if you are using a pre-sale code and it's a personalized one, you don't give it out to other people unless you aren't planning on using it,
because it can only be used once.
Yes, and then the other tickets can either be void or they can cancel the transaction, and it could just become a lot of issues. So make sure if it is a personalized code, meaning it's like HJWZ128, chances are it's not.
And if it's just like a basic like Love on Tour, I'm using
exactly.
But if it's just that, then it's fine because it's a generic one. But
and it's going to be for multiple people, so you'll be fine to share that one with your friend or whatever. But besides that, don't spread it. Don't, unless you're like, I have an extra code. Does anybody want it? Then you can like share it to the one person, but don't share it to everyone, because it
causes problems.
It causes a lot of problems.
Another easy one, if you have one, is American Express. Like, I don't have an American Express, my mom has one, and she got it strictly for Ticketmaster, which is so bizarre because she doesn't go to concerts and she doesn't really like how many concerts I go to. She's gotten better with it, but now I can just be like, oh, I need the American Express and just pay her back for it. But she strictly got it so that I could do American Express pre-sale, which is so weird because a parent normally wouldn't just, let me just open up a new credit card under my name so that my daughter can buy concert tickets.
Yeah, my parents did not do that, so I don't use one. I use the other pre-sales. So there's other options. I feel like American Express is also very limited tickets, but sometimes they're really good tickets.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like
it's nice to have that as an option.
Exactly, yeah. So if you have an aunt or an uncle or a friend,
because you can also, when one pre-sale goes on, it's usually the fan club that's first. Because all the seats come up, it will usually say, when you like scroll over one, American Express. So you'll kind of know the general area of where American Express is.
Shop all the pre-sales at one time.
But they just won't load into the cart until the day they go on.
The other thing is, if you don't get them on pre-sale, you don't get them on general sale, the other option is to look at third-party sites. So there's things like StubHub and SeatGeek, and you can always get like
there's lots
different
of different ones, but yeah.
StubHub and SeatGeek, I have used both of them, and I live by them. Like, they're fine.
They both have a fan club or a fan something guarantee, which means if the ticket ends up not working, they will get you another one.
Look at one of equal or greater value, or they will give you a refund if there isn't any tickets available, obviously, but they will most of the time give you a new seat, no problem. They're very, very good with that. I mean, I've never had that happen to me because I know that they're pretty legit, and I know that the systems that they use.
The first time I ever used it was for Shawn Mendes, because I was trying to buy tickets and the show sold out like in seconds. I had 6 computers open. This is at the time where you could have the same account open on the computer. I had 6 computers open and like 5 phones going, and we still couldn't get seats. But then I bought some.
I didn't even try to buy them off Ticketmaster. I bought them off SeatGeek.
I was doing it. We stopped curling practice because my friend was going to go with me, and we were both on the team. So we were like, okay, hold on, tickets are going on sale. We need to go out there for a second. But, and then when we went up to the venue to try and scan them, mine wasn't scanning, and I was like, and then eventually, like, it was just their scanner that wasn't working, but I was like, I almost had a heart attack.
Yeah, that would have been.
I mean, I could have gotten a better seat out of it, though, because I had terrible seats for that show. I couldn't see anything.
I had pretty good seats for that show, and I bought mine off Ticketmaster, or off SeatGeek after, but yeah, that's another thing about SeatGeek, which is kind of nice, because you can get some pretty good seats for
pretty cheap.
Yeah, there's been a lot of shows that have like $8 seats the day of or the day
well, because the day of, people are desperate to get rid of their seats, so they're
So
they're going to drop them down. Even getting $6 out of a ticket is better than nothing.
Yeah. So if there is a ticket, or if there is a show that you want to go to and you don't have a ticket for it, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, I want to go but not super desperate, I would advise waiting. Like, if it's a concert that if you miss it, like,
you won't care that much, but like if you could get a ticket to go, it'd be kind of fun.
Go, yeah. So I would advise looking on like Ticketmaster, or not on Ticketmaster, on SeatGeek or StubHub.
Sometimes you can even look on Ticketmaster if you like, you want to go like a good amount, but like you're not like, oh my god, I really need to go, and you're not kind of like, well, I need it to be really cheap. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes closer to the date, if Ticketmaster hasn't sold all of the tickets and there's still a lot of tickets left, they will start dropping the prices down.
Yeah, so just kind of keep checking and keep seeing how
even after you have seats, checking, because more seats get released closer to the day.
Exactly. The other thing about keep checking is if tickets do happen to sell out right away on the pre-sale or on the general sale, what I've actually happened to me before is you keep refreshing the page, and sometimes they'll come back. Most of the time they'll come back.
Because the thing is, someone has them in their cart and their ticker's going down, and so it's sold out. Like, they're in someone's cart, someone can buy them. But if they don't get those ones, or they got some on a different computer or a different account, then
they get released, and then you go buy those tickets. So even though it's sold out in 12 seconds, all the seats are in somebody's cart within 12 seconds or whatever, those seats are going to be released. A lot of the times those seats that are in people's carts are not purchased. They're released back to the general public. So that way, keep refreshing the page. This goes for VIP as well, which we're going to do a full episode on buying VIP tickets next week probably. But yeah, just keep refreshing the page because you never know. Like, I got row 2 seats like probably 20 minutes after because I kept refreshing the page. Looking. And it popped up, and I grabbed it, and there we go. I had a row 2 seat, and I ended up getting barricade, and it was...
Another nice thing with Ticketmaster is sometimes it doesn't happen for all shows, because shows have their own strict rules, but for a lot of shows, if you get a seat, and then you find a better one for the same price, or even a little bit more, but it was still in your budget, you can call Ticketmaster, and sometimes they will exchange it. You have to kind of word it in a good way. Yeah. I usually do that for us, because it's the one thing I'm good at when it comes to speaking on a phone. And they can exchange it. There is a $10 fee, so you have to pay that.
Plus you have to pay whatever the ticket price is, and you don't get a refund back on your tickets. So you'd have to be, if you do get a cheaper seat, because sometimes like tickets do drop, like you said, and you could get better seats for the same value or a lesser value.
You would just still be paying what you paid originally.
Exactly, yeah. You wouldn't get any refunds back or anything like that. They don't do that. They just charge you the exchange fee per ticket, and then give you the other seat if the venue allows for it. Because not all venues allow for it either. There are some venues that are
there's some, and it totally depends on the show. But I know the first time I learned it, I had seats for Shawn Mendes, and I called them and I was like, listen, I don't want to sit with the people that I'm going with anymore. We're not friends. They changed it, no problem. Did it for Harry Styles the first time he came to Vancouver, because my mom bought the tickets for me. She's not good at buying tickets, but I was at work, so I didn't have another choice. And she bought nosebleeds. I wasn't doing it. I can't. I don't like nosebleeds. But, so I called, and we exchanged the lower bowl. It was still the top half of the lower bowl, but it was still better. And then I got to the venue, which this is another thing. Sometimes you can go up to customer service.
Yeah, once you get there.
If they have better seats, they will switch you. We ended up in, like, row 2 in the lower bowl, and we didn't have to pay anything when we got there.
Yeah, so you can always ask. It's not guaranteed.
No, sometimes it's really hard. Like, if the show's sold out, like we went to the Jonas Brothers, you couldn't budge your seats.
No. It just depends on the venue, depends on who's working, depends on how kind they are, depends on how you word it. There's a lot of different variables with it, but it's never, it never hurts to give it a shot and hope for the best. And if it doesn't happen, at least you have a seat kind of thing, but
exactly,
it's worth a shot. But yeah, I think that's all the tips we have for buying and concert tickets. Yeah. Like I said, we're going to do a full episode on buying VIP
That's a
whole
next other story.
It's a completely different situation, and something that we've also had a little bit of experience with.
We've had a few horror stories with those ones.
Yes, we have. Some incidents that have happened, but we will tell you that next week. Yeah. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So where can they find you if they wanted to find you elsewhere? My Instagram is at Kassidy Lesser. It starts with a K. I've not mentioned that in any other video, but my name does start with a K. So if you look up with a C, you won't find it. And my Twitter is at _Kassidy page.
Yeah.
And my Instagram is jfolds1195. And then you can also find me on Twitter at _it's Jess Taylor, or on YouTube at it's Jessica Taylor. And you can also find us on Instagram at ourturnofficial, and check out all the other updates for the podcast and hear all the little fun, exciting news that we sometimes talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
I hope we can buy concert tickets again soon.
And it will be really nice. It's so sad that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to spend money again.
Can't wait to get more concert tickets, but who knows when that's going to be.
That's the kind of stress we like, is buying concert tickets.
It's sometimes very stressful, but it's fun and it's exciting.
Exactly.
And it ends with, a positive outcome at the end. Most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.